Get ready for your daily dose of marketing strategies and tactics from entrepreneurs with the guile and experience to help you find success in any marketing capacity. You're listening to Marketing School with your instructors, Neil Patel and Eric Su.
Welcome to another episode of Marketing School. I'm Eric Su.
And I'm Neil Patel.
And today we're going to talk about 7 age-old advertising principles that are still relevant today. So I'll kick it off. Number 1, this is from David Ogilvy. When you are writing a headline, let's say you're spending $1, 80 cents is spent on the dollar already. So I'm paraphrasing here, obviously, and it's terrible. But most people are going to read your headline first. A lot of people aren't going to read the rest of it. So this is still relevant today. You still have to have really great headlines. Great headlines cause a click-through. They cause curiosity. If you don't know how to write great headlines, go to Copyblogger, use the headline formulas that they have. You can also use the Portent headline generator. We've talked about these quite a bit. But yes, the headline, still modern today, you have to have a great headline.
The next one's from Warren Buffett. Warren Buffett always tells his CEOs every year, and he has been for ages, like 10s, 20s, 30, whatever years, always protect the brand. When you have a decision to make, something that'll make you extra money but could hurt the brand in the long run, he always says, don't make the extra money. Protect the brand for the long run. Branding is everything. If you have a powerful brand, people remember it. You screw up, right? It can go to crap literally in a few minutes. It takes up years, if not decades, to build up really powerful, big brands. It only takes a minute to ruin it.
Number 3, tell stories, for example. So stories are what drive people to, they cause emotion in people. Whenever you can have a story, some advertisers like to call these advertorials, where you're able to talk about something that really hits home. Let's say you're talking about how, it was really difficult that your parents are growing older and then you had to move into a senior living home, something like that. But when you're able to use a story ahead of time and then you can, add marketing, add a hint of marketing magic to the article, then you're able to drive the point home more versus just trying to aggressively sell them. So stories, if you can, think about it, bring in your creative team, but stories are really effective.
Number 4, have you ever noticed these old school companies like McDonald's, General Electric, AT&T, whatever it may be? They continually advertise. In essence, they're consistent. A lot of new companies these days do advertising campaigns. They look at the ROI and they're like, all right, what should we do next? These old school companies, sure, they have more money. But when they started out, a lot of them, like Nike, they were hammering the same message over and over again, and they were being consistent. Why? Because it comes down to the rule of 7, right? This is the old school rule in marketing in which if you see something 7 times, then someone is much more likely to convert. So be consistent with your marketing. You may not be able to do 7 times because of budget constraints or time constraints or whatever it may be, but be consistent and try to push the message down people's throat as much as possible.
Number 5. So this one's from 22 Immutable Laws of Marketing. I think it was Dan Kennedy that wrote this one, but the first mover and
Dan Kennedy didn't write that book.
Who wrote that book? It's
Dan something. I've read that book, 22 Immutable Laws of Marketing.
Now I got to Google it. And by the way, this is a really good book, guys.
The author is Ries and Jack Trout. Yeah.
Wow, I was way off. All right. Well, that at least helps. But anyway, this is definitely in there. The first mover advantage. Even from a business perspective, if you look at how Coca-Cola was the first mover, or you can look at other companies out there, and this doesn't always apply in the business world because some people like Facebook will come out later, even though MySpace came first. But the first mover advantage in a lot of cases still applies. And if you think about it from an advertising perspective, the first movers to, let's look at Gary Vaynerchuk, for example. He was the one that said, hey, he built his brand off of Twitter, right? And now he's attacking Snapchat as Snapchat's getting bigger and bigger. So, he likes to say that his thing is, day trading attention. And that, you can make the argument that he's pretty good at it because he's a first mover in that space.
Number 6 comes from a book called Don't Make Me Think. It's by Steve Krug. I'm probably butchering his last name. And what he talks about in the book is think about the user. Simplicity is the ultimate sophistication. Now with technology changing and things becoming so complex, if you look at the big companies, the ones who are succeeding in marketing and business, whatever it may be, their technology and their functionalities may be really complex and complicated, but their messaging to consumers is very simple. Facebook, connect with your friends, right? Share moments online. You don't have to be in person now. Snapchat, send private messages to people, right? And all these types of simple messaging and stories. So with your marketing campaigns, Keep it really simple. Sure, things are really advanced these days, but that doesn't mean your marketing and your messaging needs to be advanced. The simpler your pitch, the better off you are.
All right, and number 7. So urgency still plays a key role when you are, let's say there's a limited time or this is expiring tomorrow and it's something that you really want. Let's say for me, let's say it's a MacBook or a camera that I really want and it's 75% off, but deal expires tomorrow. It's going to force me, or it's going to basically make me try to at least do something next, right? In many cases, I think I look at Neil, the stuff that you have going on, or people, when I run webinars, when you run something that's expiring, you say the deal is expiring in a day or so or 2 days or so. A lot of times people are going to get 50% or more of their sales coming from those expiring emails saying, hey, this deal is going away. We're closing the cart right now. Having that sense of urgency to people compels people to take action. Neil, I mean, what are you seeing from your webinar when you're closing the cart on people?
Yeah, it drives a lot of sales. It drives in the double-digit percentiles of our sales.
Great, cool. So Neil, anything else to add on this one? I think this one was pretty brief.
That's it. Follow those rules. We'll keep it brief. And you know what? They'll work really well. They worked years ago and they still work today.
All right. That's it for today. We'll see you tomorrow.
This session of Marketing School has come to a close. Be sure to subscribe for more daily marketing strategies and tactics to help you find the success you've always dreamed of. And don't forget to rate and review so we can continue to bring you the best daily content possible. We'll see you in class tomorrow, right here on Marketing School.